Hi, first graders. This week we're going to be reading this really fabulous book called Alligators and Crocodiles by Gail Gibbons. And as you can see, this book is a nonfiction informational book that's going to give us facts about alligators and crocodiles. However, she uses illustrations in her book instead of photographs. There are a few vocabulary words that I want us to learn. So our first vocabulary word is reptile. Reptile is an animal that has cold blood, lays eggs, and has a body covered with scales or hard parts, just like an alligator or crocodile. Paleontologist is a scientist that studies the fossils of animals and plants. Carnivore is an animal that eats meat. Nocturnal means that the animal is active mainly at night. And hatchling is an animal that was just hatched out of an egg. So we are going to read the first half of Alligators and Crocodiles. Something glides slowly through the water, barely making a ripple. It is well hidden and looks like a bumpy drifting log. Two eyes and a snout appear above the water. It is an alligator or a crocodile. Alligators and crocodiles are members of the group of reptiles called crocodilians. They are the closest living relatives of dinosaurs and the world's largest reptiles. According to paleontologists, alligators, crocodiles, and dinosaurs lived on Earth about 230 million years ago. About 65 million years ago, dinosaurs became extinct, but alligators and crocodiles continued to live. The word crocodile comes from the word crocodilos, which means lizard in Greek. The word alligator comes from el lagarto, which means the lizard in Spanish. There are 2 different kinds of alligators and 14 different kinds of crocodiles. The only area inhabited by both alligators and crocodiles is the southern tip of Florida and the Florida Keys. Alligators and crocodiles usually live in climates where the water and air temperatures are warm all year long. Some alligators live in colder climates where they must hibernate if it gets too cold. Now here are 2 diagrams, if you remember learning about text features, 2 diagrams. One is of the American alligator and one is of the American crocodile. So here is the diagram of the American alligator. And here is the diagram of the American crocodile. So in the little boxes, it kind of tells us this is probably more important. So let's read that part. An American alligator's mouth and teeth. They have strong jaws, but the only top teeth can be seen when jaws are closed. So an alligator, you can see the top teeth when the jaws are closed. On a crocodile, now that's this one, they also have strong jaws, but their upper and lower teeth can be seen when the jaws are closed. So that's one way that they're different. Alligators, you can only see the top teeth when their mouths are closed, and crocodiles, you can see both their upper and their lower teeth when their jaws are closed. Alligators and crocodiles are carnivores. To catch their prey, they may stay perfectly still. When an animal comes near, snap! The animal is grabbed in a split second. Alligators and crocodiles may also swim slowly and quietly to their unaware prey and attack. Young alligators and crocodiles usually feed on small prey such as fish, frogs, and birds, using their powerful jaws and sharp teeth. Larger, older alligators and crocodiles may eat big animals such as raccoons and deer. Often they grab their prey and hold its nose underwater until the animal drowns. Also, they may leap to catch their prey. They eat by ripping the animal apart and swallowing the pieces whole. Ugh. Alligators and crocodiles live in water. Got a heading up here. Alligators and crocodiles are good swimmers and spend most of their time in the water. They use their powerful swishing tails to move forward. They are able to steer using their tails and back legs. By tucking in all four legs, they are able to swim faster. And on land, they can crawl, walk, and run. Sometimes they walk with their bodies high off the ground. This is called the high walk. Now that's all we're going to read for today, but we're going to focus on trying to figure out two tricky words that we read today in our story. Now there are strategies that you can use when figuring out hard words. So we're going to look at a little chart that tells us some strategies. So figuring out hard words. Strong readers, which is all of you, use a lot of strategies to help them figure out unknown words in nonfiction texts. Here are some of the strategies. You can look at the pictures that might help you figure out what the word means. You can think about words that you know that are inside the word that you don't know. You can look at helping words. Like in the sentence, it might say or, which would mean different, or like, which would mean the same, or are called. You can also see if in any of the sentences around the word, if they give you examples or even a definition of what the word means. Or you can look at and think about synonyms or antonyms that the sentence also includes. So we're going to look at two words that we read today. The first word was inhabited, and it was on page 8. Let me read page 8. There are 2 different kinds of alligators and 14 different kinds of crocodiles. The only area inhabited, there it is, by both alligators and crocodiles is the southern tip of Florida and the Florida Keys. So I'm not sure what the word inhabited means. So I'm going to think about some of those strategies. Well, if I look at the picture, it's a map. Maps are where places where people or things live. That's what maps tell us about. I can also think of, in this word, inhabited, there's the word, it kind of reminds me of habitat, which is a place where animal lives. I know that from learning in science. So this must mean, inhabited must mean that it's a place where animals live. So the only area inhabited, meaning that the alligators live there, so the only area that both of them live is in the southern tip of Florida and the Florida Keys. Now on the next page, there's another word, climates. I'm not sure if I know what that word exactly means. So let me look back in the text and use some of those strategies. Alligators and crocodiles usually live in climates where the water and air temperatures are warm all year long. So climates. Well, if I look at the picture again, there's a map. So I think climates must have to do something with place or where animals are living. And in the sentence, the rest of the sentence, it talks about climates where, so it's a place where the water and air temperatures are warm. Well, that's the weather. So I think climates must mean the weather in different places or areas on Earth. So today, you are going to just tell me one thing you learned about alligators and crocodiles. So just type in one fun fact that you learned. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. We're going to read some more. Bye.